Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. I mean,
this is gonna be a rather silly sode.
Woo-wee! All right, let me tell you something.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good. I'm a little slap happy today. Maybe it's the Moderna in me, but
first vax shot. It's huge.
Yeah. So let me tell you something right now. Feeling a little bit of tender and soreness in this arm right here. So if you see me just doing a little bit of this, just mind your business.
Just moving that arm.
Anyway,
constant movement. Make sure you're hydrating as well.
Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Backstage, we had a moment. I'm fine. We
had a little moment.
Out. We're good. So anyway, let's get into it. We have 2 primetime games. Let's get it. I think I saw you make a book post this morning that you're not a huge fan of this slate, and I would have to agree.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this slate, especially the primetime games with the injuries that are going on. It's just not a slate that I'm really looking forward to betting on.
Agreed.
But I think we found some value. Maybe some juice.
Maybe some sauce.
Maybe a little sauce.
Maybe a little sauce. Diablo sauce. Anyway.
Maybe
we did. We went in the trenches and we found the diamond in the rough, people. Okay.
In the trenches. We were in the trenches.
This freaking slate's not my favorite. However, we found some plays and we need to just freaking get into it. But first, we need to recap the last episode because
run it back.
The plays that we each individually had for the first game, which I believe was the 76ers versus the Warriors. Let me also say that I was tweeting frequently about how I was sweating the Danny Green prop. I was a little tipsy at the Nuggets game last night. I was looking at Draymond Green's lines the entire time. The prop hit far before I knew it. So shout out Danny Green. Thanks so much.
Smashed Draymond, in the fourth.
It did. It was great. And you also hit your prop for the first prime.
Which was a sauce prop.
Sauce play.
Yeah, Joel Embiid absolutely to the crib. 13 rebounds. I had it at over 12.5 against a Warriors team that just had no center. Should have probably had a couple more, but a cover's a cover, and we live to fight another day.
You know what? And we both covered by like 1. So
I mean, that's what it's all about, though.
That's what it's all about. And then I will say, we had a party prop yesterday, and we lost by the hook. And
which is why we're coming back again with another party prop.
We have another party prop. And I will say, I did see some of you on Twitter saying that you grabbed it at 22.5. So you guys were still able to cash. Congratulations. Tough for Mike and I, but if you guys cash, that's really all I care about. So I'm very happy for you. Shout out.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. We really only care if you guys are cashing, you know?
I mean, really, that's how it goes. So anyway,
not seeing a lot of comments from today's sode. Do we have any viewers?
Yeah, we've got some viewers. We got about 29 viewers right now.
Is the Philly pod trolling?
They're trickling in. They're on their lunch break. They'll get over here. Jay Grove, what's good?
What up, fam?
What is up, fam? We also got Philly Pod in here. You already know what it is. Philly Pod, welcome back to another sode. Anyway, recapping the last episode. Recapping the last episode, we went. I went 2-1. If we're including that party prop that we lost by freaking 1, because I also had a bet with Liv moment. Jokic to have over 41.5 points, rebounds, assists. That cash. He was on fire. Got to watch it live. And you, along with your
Joel Embiid,
you had some exclusives on the Book It Sports app.
That I did, and they absolutely smashed. Colin Sexton and Giannis. Their lines were too low, and I was just feeling sharp.
Where the actual F did you just get that?
Was feeling rather sharp.
So here's the deal. Well, I want to know what goes through your effing brain before we do these shows. Do you go through the house and go, oh, this could be a fun prop for today? I could do a little skit with this knife.
I'll actually walk you through my thought process there. So the show started. I looked down and I was like, oh, I forgot I had a pocket here. And then I looked over I'm on my mom's desk.
Why did I put a knife in it? Yeah, that makes sense.
I was at my mom's desk and I saw a letter opener. And I was like, oh, when I leaned away, if you noticed in the beginning, I snuck this in. So I was like, I'm going to take this out and say I was feeling sharp. So I came up with it as we were filming. But now I will let you guys bear witness to a letter opener ASMR. Liv loved it. Liv is a secret simp for ASMR. I just know.
When I have a hard time shutting my eyes at night, I do pop a little ASMR channel on. I'm not even gonna front. There's no front. I'm gonna be honest though. You rubbing your mic with a knife in our prop talk episode is not my type of ASMR. I'm gonna be.
No, we're sharpening our knives because we're feeling sharp going into the Nets Pelicans game.
Agreed.
Before we start the show, I want to start off every show now with a shot.
Oh, that sucks.
So it's not just. So it's not just, like random. So I'm going to start the episode off with a shot. After the Nets game, I'll take another shot. After the Clippers game, I'll take another shot. So we'll take 3, maybe 4 total at the end of the recap.
I would love to see you just shoot 4. I know that's going to be tripled by the end of this episode.
I will try. I promise. Okay. So that didn't go well.
No, it didn't. 6:15, Nick. 6:15.
Yeah. 6
Cool. Anyway, so that's a really cruddy way to start off the episode, but we're just going to keep going with it anyways because it's not it's anything new. I mean, let's get real for 5 seconds. So it's fine. Nets versus Pelicans is the first primetime game, and as we've seen just about in every single game as of lately, we've got some freaking injuries. You and I talked about this a little bit earlier, but Pelicans, they're looking healthy tonight, and the Nets
very healthy.
Are looking super not healthy, which makes me lean towards the Pelicans. But it also makes me take a look at those players that are left on the Nets team to really pull the weight up against this Pelicans team. Because let's get real for 5 seconds. The Pelicans don't play defense. They just don't. So I kind of like this game in the sense that when you have a full healthy Nets team, you don't know necessarily who's going to pop off, right? It's kind of who's going to have a game tonight, who's not. Well, in this situation, when you're kind of down to Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, you've got to depend on these players to really put the points up on the board. So let me tell you what we like. And this is the party prop. Party prop.
It's a party. 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 And everyone's invited.
Woo! Join us.
Everyone's invited.
Hashtag it on Book It Sports. Give us a tag. We are riding this party prop because yesterday we got screwed by the hook, and that is not happening today, people. So, Nets versus Pelicans party prop. Mikey, tell them what it is.
Kyrie Irving over 2.5 threes. It's going to be electric. Who doesn't love watching a 3-point prop? And listen, as we said, it's injuries galore over here for the Nets.
Woo!
And who's playing? Kyrie Irving. So, wow, that is
that might have, perhaps?
No, that might have been. I want you to understand, Liv, that might be the most Liv Moods water bottle I think I have ever.
And if you were curious, it does in fact have a strap. I can wear it as a purse.
We could go mobile. We could go mobile with that.
Very. Can you picture Liv Mood sweating out a prop, watching it on TV at the gym, trying to get a sweat session with this strap to her shoulder? I mean, if you want to know what I do at 5 p.m. every day, that's it right there. FML. Okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay, the hydro jug is the plug.
You
but
can't
anyway,
just spring the hydro jug on us like that. I've never seen that thing before.
Okay, sorry.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, this prop is going to be electric, and I'll tell you what, the value is not necessarily there. This is a heavily favored. The over is favored in this situation for sure. I think the line when I checked was -140, so not great value. However, is there anything more electric than watching an over made threes prop cashing? No, there's not. The last time that Kyrie Irving played the Pelicans this year, he had 4. So I think 2.5 is easy money. Again, we're kind of looking at Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris to be the main scorers in this game. If the Nets want to even hang close at all.
Yeah.
Boink. Did you just see? I just boinked the bill of my hat onto my microphone.
You bonked your mic.
I did. Anyway, I think Kyrie and Joe Harris.
Shout out that hat. That looks like Book It merch.
Oh, does it look like Book It merch? Well, it is.
That's crazy.
Oh. Anyway.
That's crazy.
Anyways, yes, I love this prop. I think this is a party prop that is bound to cash. So join the party. Head over to the Book It Sports app. Use the hashtag party prop. Tag Mikey Over and myself at Mikey Over at Live Moods on the app, and let us know that you're riding with the party, people. Okay, because every time Mike and I are on the same prop, it's a party. So now we just branded that ish, and it's called the party prop. Shout out LMFAO Party Rock Anthem.
Everyone's invited.
Everyone.
It's a rare party.
Let us know that your RSVP is heading to the Book It Sports app and using the hashtag.
And you can actually track that prop on the Book It Sports app because we offer threes made.
Woo!
Boom.
Anyway, that's what we like in that first matchup because, take advantage. Injuries are tough because if you've got a player that's questionable and then they're a late scratch, that can screw you. If the lines aren't available because the injuries haven't been released, that can screw you. But in this situation, when we know who's out, we know who we don't have, it's important to jump on these props before another player goes out. I know right now KD is questionable. God forbid he goes out officially and is a late scratch. Kyrie's line is going to skyrocket. So just grab it while you can. In this situation, the injuries were helpful because it helped us figure out who on the Nets team is going to have to pull their weight to make this game relatively close. And that's Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris as well. Look at his props. But I like this prop. I think it's a smash success.
It's a smash. It's a smash hit.
Smash hit. Okay, moving on.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, let's...
Moving on.
Moving on. Don't say another peep for the next 2 seconds, Mike, please. Thank you. We're going to move on. We're going to just pretend that didn't happen. Hey, Nick, that was probably around 12:03. Fix it in post.
Just fix that in post.
Clippers versus Trailblazers. More freaking injuries. I'm over this crap. I feel like it's just getting annoying at this point. But Damian Lillard is out. FML, what will the Trailblazers do without Damian Lillard? Well,
I think that plays into the hands of your prop, actually.
It does. Actually, it does. And you know what? I was a little bit torn between two props for this Trailblazers team, knowing that Damian Lillard was going to be out. I know that CJ McCollum is going to have a game. I know that, a guy like Robert Covington is a little bit of hit or miss,
he's a streak factor.
I don't feel comfortable putting my money on him, but when I'm looking at the players that are going to have to really step up on offense to hang in there with this Clippers squad, not having Damian Lillard, I immediately go to CJ McCollum and I also go to Norman Powell. And let me tell you something. Oh, yeah, my arm slipped. CJ McCollum's line was a little high for me. Considering his last 5 games, he'll have games where he pops off and he's scoring 29, 26, whatever. But he sometimes likes to float in like the low 20s range. And I believe his line was 25.5. And it just felt a little high. Felt a little high for me just because I don't know if he's going to, facilitate more, shoot more. He's a little streaky when it comes to points. So I didn't feel super solid about laying my money, my hard-earned effing dollar bills on a CJ McCollum line that's that high. But what I did notice was Norman Powell's line was at 19.5. This is a guy who, against this Clippers team, they've played twice, has averaged 32 points.
Yeah, it's huge.
Actually, maybe they played once. 32 points against this Clippers team. Okay, so he knows how to shoot against this team. This team clearly struggles to defend Norman Powell. And I think now not having Damian Lillard, we're going to see the ball getting to his hands a whole lot more in this matchup. I felt like 19.5 was a really solid number because he's hit that. I would say, I don't remember exactly how often, but he's been pretty consistent with this number. And yeah, I liked it. I thought that 19.5 was a really good steal for a guy like Norman Powell. And so that's what I'm writing. Over 19.5. I think with no Damian Lillard, he has a lot more opportunities to hit this. Looking right now, he's hit this in 2 of the last 4. I'm not sure about the last 5, but 2 of the last 4 he's hit this. So, he's capable. He's got the talents there. And then I think you remove Damian Lillard from the equation, he's going to get the ball more and have more playing time. So I think it hits.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's one of 2 things that's going to happen is CJ McCollum is either going to have to double down and be that scorer because he's going to be the first option. Every time the Trailblazers bring the ball up, CJ McCollum is going to have to touch the ball. And in those scenarios, when you're the star player, or the secondary star player, I should say, and your star player is out, you either double down, you become that scorer, or you do a little bit of both and score and facilitate. I see, honestly, CJ doing a little bit of both in this game because CJ's not a guy that's going to win this game by himself. And Norman Powell, as we know, coming from Toronto, he's a dog. He can put up 20 points easy, especially when you take out the highest scorer on the team out of the equation. So you can't win the game by yourself. He's going to have to pour it in. However, I'm on the other side of this bet because my prop is Paul George over 23.5 points. He averages 29.5 against his Trailblazers ball club, and he's hit this in 4 of his last 5. His last game, he got exactly 23. And I think Vegas is adjusting the odds because they think it's going to be a blowout. I, however, do not see that scenario happening. Clip that just in case it happens so you guys can embarrass me. But I do think this game is going to be relatively close. Listen, the Trailblazers need to start establishing themselves as a team that can beat these good teams. Because if they want to make runs in the playoffs, they need to have established that culture in the regular season. So they can't drop these games even without Dame. But Paul George, you're going to have to be that scorer. Because as we all know, this is your MVP trainer season. And last time I took you over, it absolutely smashed. So that's why I'm taking Paul George today. He averages 29.5 for the last 5. He's hit this. The Trailblazers are without Dame. I don't think anyone really matches up that great against Paul George on this team. So I think 23.5 is just a little too low. It's just a little too low. So I had to take the over.
And let's get it straight here. The Trailblazers don't really play defense. They really don't. So I think this is going to be a lot of scoring. And to my, I'm kind of going back to the whole defense thing. I'm going back to my prop a little bit. I agree with you in the sense of CJ McCollum having to play a little bit of both roles, because I would argue that the Clippers are going to double down on CJ McCollum. They're not going to let him shoot the way that he normally shoots because they know he can make them, So, yeah, I think that they're going to really double down on CJ tonight, which makes me hopeful for that Norman Powell prop. And then I think for you, the numbers speak for themselves. This guy's hitting this in 4 of the last 5. He was lost by the hook in one of them. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think there's going to be a lot of scoring happening. I can't imagine we have a blowout in this matchup. I would be shocked to see that. But again, don't hold your effing breath with the NBA.
Yeah, you literally never know with this year's NBA, and especially with all these teams having so many injury problems, and it always seems to be the best player. I don't know if it's just me, but whenever these teams start to go through their injury bug, it's always the best player. James Harden, Kevin Durant is out. Now Damian Lillard is out. Every single time there seems to be a riff where people are injured, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are getting rested. That's happened a couple times this season. It's always the best players. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But
I'm not going to say it because I don't know who's listening, but
a lot of this and a lot of this. But, I think it's a weird slate, though. It is a very weird slate.
Very.
And it's a lot of mismatched games of teams that I'm kind of like, I'm not interested in that game. This game would be really interesting if Dame was playing, but either way, I'm going to watch it because now I got money on it. And of course, I will be dropping exclusives on the Book It Sports app up to 2 today. The other 2 hit yesterday. So stop missing out. Download the app. Follow me. Follow Liv. And I'm going to be throwing memes up about this party prop play. So don't miss out on the memes.
And yes, I actually today am going to dabble in the Book It exclusives as well. Sometimes I feel like, and I think this is important for people to know in this industry when you're betting props. I know we come on here, we dish out our props, whatever, but I do like to offer advice because this is things that I think could help you place your own props sometimes. Don't force a prop. If it doesn't feel good and it's not sitting well, don't force it. A lot of times I have people DMing me, Liv, I need another lock for this game and this game and this game. If you don't have one, don't give one. Okay.
Well, if I had a lock for that game, I would have put it out.
Right. So I'm going to look at the other games because I'm very intrigued by that Hornets game. And so I may take a look at some props there. There's some other games
on the slate. Prop in that game. I'm also not going to lie to you. I may or may not be dabbling in a little goal scorer hockey prop. I don't know why, but I found one and I was like, I'm just going to throw it out there and see what happens. There's probably a 0% chance it hits, but I'm going to try it.
No, there's actually a 50% chance it hits.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on that one, yeah. Well, probably a little less than 50. I mean, the over-under is it's plus 180. So I don't know if that's 50.
Okay, a little bit of juice.
Yeah,
I hear you talk about juice.
A little bit of juice.
Okay, well, yeah. So we have some exclusives for Mikey Over going on the Book It app, only on the Book It app. So if you want to see them, telling you guys, he went 70% last week. That included his exclusive props on the Book It Sports app. So if you're hearing props on the Prop Talk episode that you're just like, nah, I don't really know if I vibe with that, go to Book It because we're going to post more there. I'm going to come up with a couple myself right after this show. And then I'm also dropping a juice play today.
Boom.
Live with juice play of the day. I will be dropping that here on Twitter. But again, with those juice plays, there's a little bit of risk factor, and that's why they're juicy. So if you're not liking the juice play, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
That'd be really cool, you know? Like,
It was really cool. That's like one of those tricks you do with the kindergarten class on, like, you know, when you're like telling them about your job and they're like, oh, Mikey Over's so cool. And then you do that little thing at the end. They're like, wow.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Just go ahead and take an exit. Yeah.
Yep. Just a soft exit.
Okay. Maybe you should do a sitting. Oh.
I just ate so much ish.
Oh, maybe you should do one more shot for those Clippers versus Trailblazers prop.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just get back in my chair.
Yeah, get back into it and roll your shoulders out and whatever, and then let's pop one up there and see how we do. How about that?
You gotta get back over here. Okay.
Oh my God. Jesus. Okay, enough.
It's okay. All right, let's run it back for the folks at home.
Oh my God, you're insane. You're effing insane. Okay.
Somebody clip that. I'm going to send it to John Morant and tell him that I would have made that dunk at the end of the game, but it's okay.
Okay. Alrighty. John, if you're listening, he didn't mean that, for God's sake.
No, I did. John,
you know, we've really overstepped our boundaries when you're chirping John Morant.
Listen, if this show ever gets like really popular and people go back in the archives, the amount of NBA players I'm going to have to deal with, it's getting like a little uncomfortable. Like Danny Green, Ben Simmons. There's a lot.
I do believe that we were actually full-blown roasting LeBron James one episode, which is the most disrespectful thing we could probably ever do. And talk about being ballsy.
No, we did that.
That
is something we did. Not a lot of people can say that, Liv. We did that. We did that.
I don't know if I'm excited about doing that, but we did it nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, well, such is life. Till they come at us, and then it gets really uncomfortable.
Such is life.
And then they go, oh, this kid only played freshman basketball in high school?
Oh,
and he's trying to make fun of LeBron James, and then I'm just sitting there like...
Oh my God, we're gonna have some serious explaining to do. Actually, speaking of explaining, before we recap, 2 seconds here. I was live at the Denver Nuggets game last night. Okay,
live,
sitting there getting ready. I've got my margarita. I'm ready to go. I'm riding Jokic over 41.5 PRA, which he freaking smashed. You know, I didn't really have a side in this game because I love the Grizzlies and I love the Nuggets. So I was just like kind of just hoping for a good basketball game.
Of course.
What I wasn't hoping for / wasn't prepared for was that the first 13 points on the board, the first 13 points on the board belonged to Will Mother effing Barton. He is back from the dead, people. I am officially resurrecting Will Barton. But let me tell you something. And I said this a couple weeks ago, not a couple weeks, last week. Jamal Murray being out may be the best thing that has happened to Will Barton. I truly believe this. I'm not saying he is going to be the next Jamal Murray, but what I am saying is he's going to find himself with a more definite role on this roster, with a more definite role on the court. I saw this with my own two effing eyes last night, okay? Him and MPJ, I believe, are going to step up on offense and really, really work together with Jokic. Mike, spare me the drama fest.
What?
I can see it. I can see it in your face. Spare me the drama fest. Okay, listen to me.
No, listen.
But
I'm texting
on your effing razor from 2001. Get out of here. Okay, listen. I'm telling you, there is nobody on this earth that doesn't want to resurrect Will Barton more than me. But after what I saw last night, him and Jokic made a very, very great pair. They did. They had a rhythm going. And then when they stopped working, the ball got to MPJ and he was hot from the three. I think they're figuring out this little system without Jamal Murray. And I'm telling you right now, Will Barton. Now, am I going to lay money on him every game? No, because I do think he's a little hot and cold. Okay. But last night he showed that he is capable of being warm.
A weapon.
He's not hot. He's not cold. He's warm. He's lukewarm right now.
He's warm, little warm.
I'm telling you, you guys, I did not want to do it, but I walked in there. He was warming up. I looked him dead in his face, in his little basketball playing face. And I said, run me my effing check. And I think that's what did it for him right there.
Hey, Will. Hey, Will. Run me my fucking check. He was just like, this was Will Barton. He was literally like, just getting shots up. Like, looked over. He's like,
and I'm like this.
Did that girl just say that to me?
I'm telling you right now.
What check?
He was electric.
Oh, Philly Pod. What's up?
That's good.
Sure.
He was electric last night. And I'm just saying, I think he needs to be resurrected from my graveyard. You can keep him buried in yours, but I'm telling you right now, I think he just needed a little confidence booster. And I think this game might have been it. I do. F you.
Now listen, everything you're saying, I'm so behind. I'm literally so behind, but I'm going to add to my list. Will Barton is trash. Like, he's just not good. Michael Porter Jr., your point on Michael Porter Jr., I think he's going to become one of the most elite 3-level scorers in basketball for at least the next couple months without Jamal Murray. So Michael Porter Jr., totally behind Michael Porter Jr. Will Barton, you might be totally right, and I could eat my words, but he's just, you can't go 32 minutes and score 0 points and then be like, hey, I'm just going to be a microwave from now on. So, but totally warranted taking him out of the graveyard. I'm not going to fight you on that. Well, I did a little bit. That was a lie. I just fought you on it a little bit.
You did. You were like,
but but he's out. He's out of the graveyard.
Talking, you did this. So, whatever.
Came in, hand up, ready to go. The cartoon.
Anyways, I just had
it up. What did you say about Will?
Oh, clip that, Nick. Clip the swinging fist, please. Clip it. Anyway, I had to bring that up because I'm telling you right now, I watched that game live. By the way, first game back after this pandemic, and what an electric effing basketball game. That might have arguably been the most exciting Nuggets game of the season, and I happened to be there, and it was so fun. So, double overtime, the Nuggets pulled it off.
The inside of an arena right now.
It was freaking insane. So anyway, I had to bring up the Will Barton thing because I owe him a very large apology for all the trash talk, because last night he really did step up, and I don't think we would have won the game without Will Barton. I'm being so serious. So there's that. Anyway, moving on before he winds up on me again. We're recapping.
Recap.
It's time for the recap.
Hey. Oh, backwards hat.
Oh,
looks
yeah.
good.
Whatever, I'll keep it.
Whatever, I'll keep it.
First game, Nets versus Pelicans. Lots of injuries tonight. We've got a healthy Pelicans team versus a very injured Nets team. But here's what we like: a party prop. If you're tailing it, you head to the Book It Sports app. You use the hashtag. You give us a tag. Party prop is Kyrie Irving over 2.5 made threes. Book it. Book it. Hey, book it. Okay. Woo! Moderna, baby.
I felt that. I went like this. Felt it. Felt it.
Oh, wow. Wowie.
I know. It starts to hurt.
Damn. She's
Relax.
Moderna is a BL.
Relax.
She is a BL. Relax. Okay. Next one is in the Trailblazers versus Clippers game.
Yes,
few injuries here as well. No Damian Lillard, but we do have some props that we like. With no Damian Lillard, I like Norman Powell to step up on offense over 19.5 points. And Mike likes
Paul George over 23.5 points. I hit the fan.
The fan is not an excuse. You never hit those. Anyways,
it was going in.
I have to also say we have exclusive props going only on the Book It Sports app. I will come up with mine within the hour. I'm also posting a juice play in the next 7 minutes, dropping at 2:30 Mountain Time. Okay. Boom. Juice play coming up on Twitter, and then as well as on the Book It Sports app, we will have some exclusive props. Check them out. Mikey Over has been hot lately.
Check it out.
So check them out, and we will be back again Thursday for another episode of Prop Talk. For those of you who are regulars here, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you on Thursday. Hit him with the one last shot, Mike.
Oh, show's over. Wet. I actually just made that. I'm not even kidding.
No one saw it.